Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a love reading and this is what's the future of my relationship. So this is a general reading, lots of energies coming in. It may not resonate with all of you, so whatever does resonate, keep that. If it doesn't resonate, don't get mad at it, leave it on the table and just enjoy the information you get from Spirit. Also, this is a timeless reading, so when you come across this is when it was meant for you, not when it was uploaded. Just when you come across it, Spirit knows that's the time that you needed to hear this. Okay, so we're going to choose from piles 1, 2, and 3. There'll be 3 different readings, and I've used earrings as trinkets today to help you to choose from a pile. So we have this is earring number 1, earring number 2, and earring number 3. Okay, I'll give you a moment. Timestamps are below. Hi, Group 1. Welcome to my reading. You're the ones who picked the geometric looking earring, and we're here to read for you about what's the future of my relationship. And when I say we, I mean myself and Spirit. And so before we begin, I'd like to start out with a cleansing of the table and cards, the area around myself and myself. While I'm doing this, you can take some deep breaths and cleanse along with me to clear your energies so they're easier for Spirit to deliver them to me. Okay, so there's going to be 3 clangs on the Tibetan singing bowl and some high-pitched sound, and then we'll get going. Okay, so what is the future of my relationship? Let's get going here and just see what's the future of your relationship. So right now, we're going to look into what is the strength of your relationship right now. What is the strength of your relationship? Spirit, what is the strength of this relationship? Okay. All right, so let's see what we have going on here. You have the 3 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So let me just show you these a little close up first. So 3 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So the strength of your relationship, it looks wobbly to me. And I'll tell you that the 3 of Wands, you can see that this person is looking at a map, looking at other places to go, looking elsewhere, and definitely not looking towards the relationship. Now, this could be you, this could be them, but somebody's looking somewhere else. And that doesn't signify to me something that's really grounded in itself. And along with that, there is the Knight of Wands, which is Prince Charming, and not your significant other or the one you want to be your significant other, the person you're dating, whatever relationship you are thinking of. So when I see these 2 cards together, I'm thinking the future of your relationship is kind of shaky. And I can clarify that with a little Rider-Waite card, and let's see what Spirit has to say more about the strength of the current relationship, because it's looking a little shaky to me. All right. Okay, Spirit, what do you have to say about the strength of the current relationship? 6 of Swords and the High Priestess. So the 6 of Swords is the energy of moving away and towards something else. You'll notice that in this card, The person in the boat is also looking, well, and the person rowing the boat or moving the boat is also looking away, looking elsewhere, looking somewhere else. So it still looks a little rocky to me. And then Spirit is telling me that you have intuition. You already know this. You already know how strong or not strong and how rocky this relationship is. So, of course, you want to know the future of it because you're feeling unsure of what the future is. So, let's go on and see what else is happening in this relationship. So, we're going to look into what the challenges are of this current relationship. Like, why is it shaky? Why is it a shaky relationship right now? Okay. Well, okay. So why is it a shaky relationship? Well, we have one person who's very social, likes to go do things, have fun with friends, just kind of a party person. This is the Knight of Cups. Likes to have friends and just go and do things that are fun and not really serious. It's a kind of a party, kind of immature energy. And then the other person likes to spend time alone. And again, another person that's looking the other direction. This is the Hermit card, which is looking to spend some time alone and probably wanting to spend that time alone with the future person or the current partner. I don't know who is who, but I think that you are the one who is wanting to stay together. So you're the one who is not looking elsewhere. You're the one who is wanting to go into hermit energy with the other person, but the other person is the party person. The other person is the one that's looking elsewhere, as you can see from these cards. So you may be with somebody that isn't quite as dedicated as you would like them to be, and because of the High Priestess energy, I believe you already know that to be true. You know, and you need to take some time to get away. You like time to yourself, but you need some time to think and figure out what is really going on here. What should I really be doing? Is this something I should continue? Because the future looks really shaky and this person doesn't look quite as dedicated as you do. So let's clarify these and see if Spirit has something other to say about it. And then we'll look into see if there's any lessons that are being learned through this relationship, because there always are, but what are they? Okay, let's clarify. Let's clarify what this Knight of Cups and the Hermit are saying, Spirit. Okay. So you have the Magician in reverse. So there's some stuck energy, the inability to manifest, inability to make this work. So you're really working against some tough energy. You're really working against a person that really doesn't want to be compromised, a person that doesn't really want to devote much time to the relationship. This person is wanting to stay the party person, even though they got involved with you. They're not really wanting to dedicate themselves to you, and they're looking elsewhere. They're out with other people and they're looking around. You know, they're seeing Prince Charming, and so you are over here trying to manifest, but you're blocked. And I don't know why you're blocked, but you're blocked from manifesting, and this person is very resistant, and that just might be what's blocking you, or it could be your own anxiety. You could be so anxious and so I don't mean this real negative, but you could be so desperate to make this work that you're trying so hard that the manifestation skills that you have are blocked right now, because you're so worried and so caught up in thinking about it and overthinking about it that you can't really work on manifesting it right now. So I'm going to kind of move some cards around, make some room for some other stuff. Okay, so the lesson that you're being presented with What lesson are you being presented with in this relationship? What lesson are you being presented with? Okay, strength. And the Queen of Swords. Okay, well, strength is a lesson that would come through in this certain rocky type of relationship that you're really wanting it to work, but it's like everything you try, you're coming against this party energy, this party looking everywhere else but at you energy. And it is going to take you strength. It's going to take you mental strength. It's going to take you physical strength, but mostly it's going to take you strength of your heart and soul to get through this situation. And that's a lesson you're having to learn. You haven't dealt with something like this before. You've always kind of had your way. But this time it's different. And it's just another lesson that you're going to have to learn is with this Queen of Swords energy. It's the energy of being able to speak your truth. It's the energy of being able to say things how they're meant to say without being rude, without hurting somebody else's feelings, just in a tactful manner. So with strength, it's going to take you strength to speak your truth to your other person. And that's the lesson that you're learning here. That's what Spirit wants you to know and learn, is it's important to talk about it and not just hide away in your hermit energy, but to actually talk to this person that you're involved with. And it's going to take you a lot of strength, but you actually need to say it how it is. Tell them how you feel and tell them that, maybe ask them, okay, so what is it? Are you interested in this or are you not? And be strong and not afraid of what the answer is going to be. Okay? So what lesson is your person learning from this? What's the lesson that your person is being presented with the relationship? It will be interesting to find out. There's one. What lesson is your person being presented with because of this relationship? That looks like the other. Okay. So this person is being presented with confidence, and they're learning that they're pretty confident and pretty willing to do anything. So they've learned to be confident in this situation, where here you are feeling kind of sad and dejected, a little bit desperate, and your person is feeling very confident and just ready to take on the world and do what they want to do. So again, we have this confident energy, the confident party person type of energy. And so that's the lesson they're learning, is confidence. They got in this relationship with you or started a relationship with you, and it made them feel good about themselves. And with the Eight of Cups, there is this thought that they may be considering walking away. And that's not really a lesson they're learning, but it's what they're thinking of. They haven't done it yet, but they're feeling so confident that they're thinking they could just walk away and have anybody they want. Well, that might not be what happens. So we're going to pull some clarifiers for this side. And I'm sorry to be doing this. I don't read rainbows and butterflies. I read it how I see it. So you're not always going to get the happy ending. And I apologize for that, I guess, but I'm just going to give it to you the truthful way. So let's see. Spirit, what do you have to say about the Six of Wands and the Eight of Cups? Okay. The King of Cups. And one more. Let's get one more. It's for both the cards, please. Both the cards. Let's get one more clarifier. And the Emperor. Okay. So there's definitely leader, royal type, just strong energy of Yeah, I mean, just strong energy of emotion, strong energy of leadership and strength. And this person has become so much stronger and so much confident since meeting you that they've gotten a little too big for their britches. And this person, really, I don't see as being your kind of person. They're taking a little bit of advantage over you. And sorry, I just was processing this here. I don't think they're actually leaving you. I think they've thought of it, but I think you're keeping their confidence going. And so they are looking around and looking at other things, but they might be sticking around just because of they're benefiting from this relationship. And so it's really interesting to see these two cards together, the really confident, really interested in just going out and meeting other people and being very confident with themselves, considering leaving. And they almost see, they don't want to hurt you, but they can see that if they left you, they'd really be hurting you. So they're kind of in this energy of wanting to stick around because they don't want to hurt you. And at the same time, because you're feeding their energy and you're being kind of needy on them, and it makes them feel good about themselves. And because they feel good about themselves, they're going out there and looking around at other opportunities and going out and meeting new people and possibly cheating. I just have to put it out that way because that's the way it sounds. I mean, that's the way it looks and feels and sounds from spirit. So the ultimate part of this is, what is the future of this relationship? And I kind of already got into it here. I kind of don't think this person is going anywhere, but I think you're learning a big lesson. And even if this person isn't going anywhere, where are you going? What are your thoughts? Let's just find out what's the future of the relationship. Okay, Spirit, just tell us. Make it plain and clear. What's the future of this relationship for the viewer in group 1? What's the future of the relationship in group 1? King of Swords. Or Knight of Swords, sorry. I don't know where the king came from. And the Ace of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to clarify these right now before I say anything. Okay, Spirit, help me understand why you gave us the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Okay, are you still, you see these? Okay. So we got the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. So the Knight of Swords is moving fast energy. Something's moving quickly. So the current state of your relationship is kind of in this kind of roller coaster. You know, it's a roller coaster ride right now. And I see that pretty clearly for you, that it's obviously it's moving quickly, and you're taking a look at it and you're like not super happy at the place it's at right now. You're obviously, because that's why you're going to ask, where do we stand, right? You're going to be strong and use your strength to talk to this person, because right now you're just looking at it and you're like, I'm not super happy with where we are. All right. And you're on this roller coaster ride, and you're also really overthinking, and you're in your head a lot about it. And what about this? And what about this? And what have they been doing? And what are they going to do next and stuff? And then there's also this energy of a new start. So I'm getting these conflicting messages of what is the future of your relationship, and Will Spirit saying it can go either way. And with this Ace of Swords is typically a new beginning, a new idea, new creative moment. And so it's like, okay, confused here, Spirit, what's going on? Well, with the Four of Cups, this is an emotional new beginning. So this has to do with, there needs to be a lot of work done in order for it to come together into a real lasting relationship. And from what I've seen in this reading is it's so much work. I'm not super confident, but Spirit says it's a possibility. But I don't want that possibility to make you be even more desperate in this situation of trying to get him and be like, please stay home with me, please be with me. You know, I don't mean to be mocking you or sound like I'm mocking you. I'm just saying that this is like a 10% chance, this is a 90% chance that it's the roller coaster ride and you're not very happy and it's most likely not going to last. And this is your 10% chance of it turning into a new beginning in a new relationship where, you know, even though you've been disappointed in boredom, you're being handed this fourth cup. And in this situation, you actually take that fourth cup and go for the new beginning. But be careful and be thoughtful about it before. Okay? So now I have some oracle cards for you, and the first one is going to be from the Lovers deck. And then I have two other ones I'm going to pull for you. But let's do the Lovers one first. I'll give the deck a few shuffles, and then we'll find a card. So while I'm doing this, I would like to thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And a couple comments or a sentence or so about how you are enjoying my readings, some feedback, letting me know how I'm doing as a tarot reader for you would really help me out, just getting some feedback. I haven't been on the channel very long, and so feedback would always be great. Okay. Pulling cards from here isn't that easy with the shape, so I'll do my best. Okay, Spirit, what card do you want for this group? Okay, so the Lover's Oracle card says, look inside yourself and examine what is causing you to feel this way. Now, only you know what is feeling this way. We've gone over what you're feeling, kind of, a little bit desperate and urgent, but you may have another feeling that only you know about, and it's time to examine what is causing that feeling. So that leads us to our next oracle card. So I'm going to move some of these up to make room for the cards. So this has been very roller coastery and interesting. And so we're going to pull, let's see, look inside yourself. So looking inside yourself would be doing a little bit of shadow work. So we're going to pull a shadow work oracle deck, a card from the oracle deck, and it's going to give you a little insight onto what you can be working on to help you become a better person, maybe help this relationship become better. We'll find out what Spirit wants you to know about your shadow work on the inside of your own self. Focus on yourself and not this other person. Focus on how you're behaving and what's going on with you. Okay, here it is. Prejudice. Now, this isn't talking about racial. This is just, prejudice can be for a lot of different types of things, but in this case, prejudice. What if you were categorized into a group and given attributes that were false without truly knowing who you are? Now, I'm not sure why this came up in this reading, but it's time for you to think about this and think about, you know, are you putting people into different categories? Like, is that causing trouble in this relationship and the future of this relationship? That's something to think about. Okay? And then let's find out what makes you tick. Okay? Let's find out what kind of things Spirit wants you to know about what triggers you to behave a certain way. The Trigger Oracle deck. So we're going to get a card from there. And this is just giving you more insight onto what goes on with yourself. Spirit's going to let you know something about what makes you, I don't know what just happened. What makes you tick in the way you do. What things trigger you into a certain behavior. So, okay, for viewers in group 1, please. Viewers in group 1. There was one that was flipped over already. That was weird. Let me see if I can find it. I think I saw it. There it is. Well, this is definitely a feeling you must have when you're with this person. Oh, it's exactly what part of the reading was saying. When I feel unworthy, I go into hermit mode with no explanation to others. And what did we have way up here? What did I say? You like time to yourself, but you also go into hermit mode to hide away from the negative feelings and your feelings of desperation for this person. So you are feeling unworthy. And is you what you're needing to really ask yourself is this a relationship you want to be in? Do you want to be in a relationship that makes you feel unworthy? Do you, and if you're feeling unworthy, look inside yourself and examine what is causing you to feel unworthy. Well, I think we had our answer when we have this party person who's looking everywhere else. So perhaps the future of this relationship has already been decided by you, and you just needed, confirmation of it, or just to hear about it from someone else, like Spirit. Okay, so this is what I have for you. I'm sorry it's probably not the most exciting reading that you wanted, but if this is the group you chose, Spirit wanted you to hear this, okay? So I look forward to the next reading with you. I'll probably be putting one up tomorrow or Sunday. So thank you for being with me. I love it every time, and love and light. Hi, group 2. You're the one that chose the sparkly teardrop earring. And we're ready to get going on what is the future of my relationship. Not mine, yours, of course. Okay, so before we begin, I'm going to cleanse the area around me. I'm going to make sure that the table and the cards are cleansed, and myself. And while I'm doing that, if you can take a few deep breaths, focus on cleansing out your energy. Just take a deep breath and sigh and blow out all of any net energies that have been on your mind and clear yourself out. It'll make the reading go smoother, a little easier. And your spirit guides can deliver messages to me a little more clearly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ring the Tibetan singing bowl 3 times, and that will give us our clearing. Okay, here we go. Okay, now that everything's cleansed, we can go ahead and begin the reading. And we're going to start out with, what is the strength of the current relationship you're in? What is the strength of your current relationship? I've already shuffled the deck, but I am going to shuffle it a few times. So what is the strength of your current relationship? Do you know? Let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay, Spirit, strength of the current relationship for those in group 2. Strength of the current relationship for those in group 2. One more. All right. Oh, that's 3. One more, please, Spirit. One more. Thank you. Oh, that's 3 too. Sorry, I need to get just one. So I'm going to just do this. There we go. Okay, so the strength of the current relationship as it is now. Well, now that's confusing. You have the Ace of Swords and the 5 of Cups. So what I see here is that this relationship started out with a bang. It was really great. It was strong. You had a lot of great conversation. You liked a lot of the same things. But then something took place and it's become really rough. I mean, this is the energy of mourning, of despair, of sadness. And so there may have been a few arguments and misunderstandings, but it seems that it's been a rough and tumble type of beginning, or It could be, it doesn't have to be even a beginning. It could be just you were here in your relationship or marriage. It could have been a long-term relationship that you've been in this good place, but something's happened to bring you in to this more complicated, sad, despairing kind of energy. But we're going to bring in a clarifier card or two and see what Spirit has to say. Spirit, what are these cards here for? The Ace of Swords and the Five of Cups, two very contradictory cards. Okay, all right. Okay, Spirit, what do you have for the Ace of Swords? Okay, the Queen of Swords. Somebody's a really good speaker, very tactful, talks and speaks from their heart, but sometimes overthinks everything. And that's how it's been from the beginning. But it was a good start. And at one point, you loved that conversation and loved the thinking, but it's gotten to be kind of an annoyance. And so I think this is your person who really loves to talk, but they overthink. And you love to talk too. You loved the conversation, but it's become just not as interesting. And you've taken to this more like, you know, what's happening? I'm not so happy anymore with this. And it's brought some disagreements and some sadness. Okay. Oh, and look, now you got the Ace of Swords again. So the strength of your current relationship is you've hit a bump in the road. And it's not that bad but there's a lot of swords energy. I interrupted myself. It's not that bad because there is this swords energy, and there's just the one sadness going on. So what I'm seeing is a lot of overthinking, maybe on both of your parts, a lot of overthinking. And it's possible you came up with an idea for a business together and it didn't work out, and that's disrupted the relationship a little bit. So that is a possibility. So what I see right now is the strength of your current relationship is mostly okay, except for there's been some bumps in the road, and the person that overthinks, the person that's just almost overthinking to the point of anxiety, has become very annoying. Okay. And I think you're the one that's annoyed. I think it's your person, your partner, that's kind of become annoying to you, and it's making you sad. And it's been causing the little bumps in the road. So we'll just keep this here because we want to see now the challenges in the current relationships. What's causing this? What's causing this? What are the challenges? What are the challenges, Spirit? What are the challenges in this current relationship? Well, I got 3 cards, so we'll do that. So you have the Star, the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. There haven't been too many challenges. I mean, you have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, which is all about family and foundation. And 10 is about completion. So this family, look, there's happiness and joy. It doesn't appear to be there's problems here. This family is very diverse. Everybody's accepted. It is the foundation of your relationship is family and pride and caring for one another. So there is a firm foundation on it. And with the Star card is about harmony and just magical love and peace. So the only thing that came to me when I pulled these, though, is not only is the Star about harmony, but I'm hearing that you don't have as much as you could. And that's because of this over here, this kind of energy of there's mild irritation, and it really isn't necessary. It just takes a little discussion. This person has a lot of anxiety and they do overthink things, but that's something that you liked about this person in the beginning. So it seems like maybe a little conversation or even a little counseling or something can benefit you in this relationship. okay? Or reading a book, a self-help book or something. I don't know exactly what to tell you to do. It's not my job, and it's not coming through to me that way, but something to get through this thing that you're annoyed about with this person, because it wasn't always something that was annoying. Okay? And you know what that is. You definitely know what that is. So what lesson are you being presented with in this uh, relationship? What lesson? What lesson? Okay, you have the Knight of Pentacles. What lesson? What lesson are you being presented with? There it is. And the Nine of Wands. Okay, so with the Knight of Pentacles, I'll show you these two cards. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, here's the Knight of Pentacles. And here is the Nine of Wands. So the energies I'm getting from these cards together is stagnancy. Things aren't moving along. You have a good thing going. There's some annoyances and stuff, but it's not moving any forward. You're not growing in the relationship. You're at a standstill. And you can see that the knight is usually on a horse, and you can see there's the horse standing still right there. So, and there's a bike that's standing still. And so, you know, and then in this situation, there's just a concern and a little energy of being upset. And I think that there definitely is, what I mentioned is the need for some self-help or counseling. Again, working on improving this situation where you're just annoyed with this person. And they must be annoyed by you too. It's not saying what they're annoyed with yet, but things are at a standstill, not growing, and you're not really happy with that. You want to see the relationship grow stronger, more serious possibly, or just more intimate or close to one another. And I was going to wait till the end, but I'm going to pull a Lover's card right now because that's what I felt like I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to shuffle them real quick. And while I do that, I'd like to thank you for being at this reading. I'm not anywhere near done yet, but please like and subscribe, and leave me 1 or 2 sentences of some feedback. Let me know how I'm doing as a reader. I read them all and I respond. And just whatever you need to say, get it out and let me know. All right, let's see what card comes up here for you. These aren't the easiest to overhand shuffle, but I do my best. Okay, Spirit, what card does Group 2 need? What card is good for Group 2? Okay, well, this one was peeking out. Okay, so Group 2, this is your card. Let's see where we're going with it. Friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. Well, here we're just talking about how you want it to grow, how you want it to move forward. And this is talking about nurture the friendship part. So nurturing the friendship part will dramatically improve the love life part, which is what you're wanting here. And remember, here in the very beginning, it did start as friendship, and there were things about this person you really liked that now are the things you dislike. And so it's time to really search your heart and figure out, why do I dislike the same things I liked in the beginning? What else is going on? What's going on inside of me that's making me feel that way? Because you've got this foundation and this happy joy, these 2 tens, which are, you know, completion and completion, foundation and happy joy. And, you know, it's lacking a little bit in harmony, but it has harmony, just not as much as it could. It's missing a little. And that's why you're in this energy of wanting to see it grow. All right, so let's see. What lesson you're being presented with within the relationship. I knew that was happening, but those are, well, I guess this one is going to stay. What lesson are you being presented with? Okay, you're having some attitude stuff going on. This is your challenge, but this is your lesson. Okay, so you have the Eight of Swords and the King of Swords. So the Swords energy, again, is coming out. You know, you had all the swords up here, and now you're in the swords again. You're not really in jail, but you're kind of having the attitude that you feel like you're trapped. Like, I'm trapped with this person that all they do is think and talk about stuff they're thinking about, and they're overthinking and they're anxious, and I just feel trapped and I don't like this anymore, and I want it to be so much better. But you need to, you know, take a deep breath, you know, calm down those thoughts. You're not trapped. If you wanted to leave, you could leave, but you're wanting it to grow and get better. So are you going to take the steps it needs to get better? Another challenge is learning to be a little more organized in your own thoughts, learning to think a little more clearly and not emotionally. This is emotional thinking, getting you all wrapped up and feeling trapped in your thoughts. But all it takes is a little bit of organization, a little bit of slowing down, and just organizing your thoughts and speaking in a way that is clear and concise and loving to your person. Okay? So that's your challenge. And I'll pull a clarifying card for that. It's pretty clear to me, though. You're feeling trapped. You're kind of having a bad attitude about it. And Spirit, I'm having an issue here. And Spirit is like, slow down. Stop thinking so much about what you don't like. Organize your thoughts. Think about how it used to be and how you loved the same things. And speak tactfully, lovingly, caringly to your person. Okay, so that's a lesson, a challenge, actually. Okay. Clarifying the Swords cards there. Oh, the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. So you're feeling despair again. There's a 5 and a 5, so you might want to look up 55 as a angel number. You might want to look it up and see what it's significant for. There's lots of websites that'll give you angel number significance. Just look up the one that feels right to you. Okay, and I guess this is our other one. This is the Empress. So speak like the Empress. The Empress is the mothering energy. She's kind. She's loving. She would not speak negatively to your person, or they would not speak negatively to your person. The Five of Pentacles is just seriously buying in. It's connecting in with you're feeling trapped. You're feeling just like, I'm just stuck here with this person that's doing these things that annoy me. And I've got to say, a lot of the rocky roads in this relationship, the problems you may be having, have to do with you. And you're having an attitude, and your person is an overthinker and an anxious thinker. However, they haven't changed from who they were when you met them. Or maybe they changed a little bit, but you have too. So when you're speaking to this person with your organized thinking, your organized thoughts, and your kind words and your gentle words, think of the Empress, who is caring and loving and has a mother's like energy. And take on that energy and be caring and loving. It's not a male or female type thing. It's just the energy of love and caring and mothering, speaking softly and kindly, not yelling, not commanding or lecturing. Okay? All right, let's see what else we have going on here. We have the lesson your person is being presented with in this relationship. How are we doing here with you? Let me move some of these up. I want you to be able to see them all. All right. Okay, let's see. What is your person learning, or yeah, what are they being presented with? What lesson are they learning because of this relationship? What is number two's person being presented with as a lesson? Jeez. Okay. The Magician in reverse. Oh, and here's another one. The Page of Cups. So, the Magician in the upright has the power to manifest whatever they want, whatever they need. They have a cup, they have a pentacle, they have a sword, and they have a wand. Where I don't, oh, there I see it. So there's lots of energy of manifestation, symbol of infinity. There's just everything there. But in the reverse, that energy is stuck. It's stuck manifestation energy. So this person is kind of stuck in their overthinking. They're kind of stuck in the way the relationship is right now, and they can't help it. They're overthinking and they're anxious about something. Could be a business that you guys are trying to start, could be something they're going through at work, it could be something that is not relevant to anything, but it's happening, okay? So with the Page of Cups, who is a young, this is your energy, I believe, is a young, youthful energy, playful, wants to go do fun stuff. That's not happening right now because your person is stuck. And so stuck in the overthinking and stuff, you don't have date nights, you don't go do anything, you're stuck at home, and this is a difficulty for you, and this is where you want to be. And their lesson they're trying to learn is how to be more like the Page of Cups, how to be more playful, how to have date nights, how to relax the mind and enjoy life. So they're trying. They're trying. Okay? I'll pull a clarifier for that. What's a clarifying card for the person of group 2? What lesson are they supposed to be learning? They're trying, but they're not having an easy time. The Nine of Pentacles. So with the Nine of Pentacles, they've realized that things have come to fruition, that some of the things they worry about are not worth worrying about anymore. There's peace in the garden. There's a hawk or a falcon, beautiful robe on the woman or on the person, and the pentacles have grown and are ripened and ready to be harvested. So whatever it is, or one of the things that has been worried about and overthought and over anxious about, that is done with. However, your person is still in the reverse position for the Magician, and your person is still not quite in this happy-go-lucky page energy. So the lesson they need to learn is how to bring themselves into more of a peaceful energy. Even though they've gotten done with some of this overthinking, they have a lot more ways to go. So, I mean, this is not going to be a quick fix relationship. This is not going to be something that gets better overnight. There's going to be some work to do, and I haven't gotten to the last section here, but it seems to me like you guys are going to be okay. But there's going to need to be an adjustment on both your parts. For you, it's mostly just the way you're seeing it, your perspective of it, and kind of your attitude about it. And that's going to lead me to pull an oracle card right now. I'm not done with the reading. I have another section to go, but let's look at this. This is called the Triggers Oracle deck. The Triggers Oracle deck is basically about what things happen that trigger you to have a certain behavior. What certain things happen that make you behave a certain way. So let's just see. Spirit, what do you have for group 2? What would you like to say to group 2 about a trigger they may have? Okay, what do you have to say to group 2? Group 2, that's the card. I display codependent behaviors when I have feelings of low self-worth. And I just heard that you're going to need to think about that one for a while before it really makes sense to you. So let me read it again one more time. I display codependent behaviors when I have feelings of low self-worth. So that might be why you're kind of having an attitude also. That is something for you to digest and think on, okay? So our next row here is the future of the relationship. So let's see what Spirit has to say about the future of this relationship. Okay, Spirit, what do you have to say about the future of this relationship now that we see what's going on with it? What lessons are being learned? What things are happening? What is the future? What does the future hold? Okay, so we have the Emperor, and we had the Empress right here. And we have the Four of Wands, which is celebration. A lot of times it means marriage or engagement. It's another card that stands for foundation, and you had the Ten of Pentacles, which was foundation. So I think Spirit is giving us a good idea that this relationship is meant to be together. The Emperor is a leader, the King of Kings, the smartest, who has learned all the lessons. So I think you're going to end up from being in this despair energy and this beginning energy, this trapped energy. I think you're going to end up being on top of the world energy and with a firm foundation of love, marriage, engagement, or if you're already married, just, you know, how you were feeling stagnant and you wanted the love to grow. Here you are. So I'm excited because I wasn't sure. I had a good feeling about it, but I wasn't sure. So I have another oracle card to pull for you. And so it's from the Lover's Oracle deck. And I'm going to shuffle it and get you a card. I thought I did. Oh, did I already? I might have, but let's just do another one. I'm confused. When you do back-to-back readings, sometimes it can get a little confusing. The problem is if I put it back in the deck, then I don't know. I get caught up in every little bit of the reading. So bonus for you if I did. Okay, now I really messed up the cards, so I'm going to pull a card this way. I'm going to just... Okay, let's see. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Well, that kind of closes out that reading, right? The one you love. And it all worked out pretty good. So I'm happy for you. This turned out really well. So nice job. Okay, thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time real soon. Love and light. Hello there, group 3. You chose the kind of funky geometric looking earring, and we're going to get started with what's the future of your relationship. And before we begin the reading, I'm going to take time to cleanse the table and the cards, the space around me and myself with the Tibetan singing bowl. I'd also like you to take a few deep breaths and exhale firmly and cleanse your own energies so that your spirit guides can easily get messages to me more clearly. Okay, so let's begin. All right. So, are you ready to find out what the future of your relationship is? Let's get going. The first thing we're going to find out is the strength of your current relationship. I'm using the Modern Love Tarot deck. And I really like this deck for love readings. I think you might know that if you're familiar with some of my love readings. I don't always use this deck, but today I felt like it, so. Okay, what is the current strength of the relationship? Wait, I did this all messed up. The strength of the current relationship. What is the strength of the current relationship, Spirit? Spirit, I'm confused. Strength of the current relationship. Okay. There we go. You have the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles. The Emperor and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so I think there's somebody that's more serious in this relationship and somebody that's a lot younger, actually. It's kind of an older, there's an age gap in this relationship. And that's okay. It's working for you, the age gap. But the younger person has a lot more fun stuff they want to go do. They want to go do exciting, fun things and go out on date nights and go dancing or go do, sporting events or something like that. And the more serious person in the relationship is the older one. And they'd prefer to stay at home or read books and, play chess, something a little less active. And I'm not saying that for all people that are older than their mate are like that. I'm just in this situation, this is how I'm reading this. So, so it's working though. Somehow it's working for the two of you. And so I don't feel like it's causing too much trouble. So for the current state of your relationship, it feels pretty stable. This might cause some frustration sometimes, but right now, I don't get any negatives or triggers from that the current state of your relationship is not really in a bad place. So you're wanting to see where it's going to go. So let's see what the challenges are in your current relationship, if there are any. Oh, well, that was kind of a mess up. Let me do that again. I've kind of had a funny day of doing readings. It's really hot here in Seattle, and there's also some wildfire smoke coming from eastern Washington. We don't have air conditioning, so we've had to keep our windows closed, so I think it's getting to my head. All right. Spirit, what is the challenge of the current relationship? What's challenging this current relationship? And it just came to me that I should say, if you're not in a relationship where there's a big age difference, that doesn't mean that this reading might not be for you. That one particular situation might not resonate with you, but the rest of the reading may. So please hang in there and don't give up, because there's a message here for somebody, Spirit told me. Okay, challenge in the current relationship. Challenge in the current relationship, Spirit. Interesting. Okay, so the challenge right now is not a challenge. You don't have a challenge. Why are you here? The Ace of Swords is about thinking together, talking, conversing together. And you even like to share, you like to debate with one another about different things, maybe politics, but it doesn't cause you to fight. You like to read the same things, you like to discuss books together, and you're just on the same mind. You think the same. And with the King of Swords, this is the Ace of Swords all the way to the King of Swords. I didn't mention that, okay? With the King of Swords, not only do you think well, and together you have organized thinking. So that way you can have those, this is not seen as a challenge, and Spirit's like, sorry, there's not a challenge. I know you asked me for that, but really right now, things are going pretty good. And the King of Swords is a very organized thinker and talker. And this gives you guys the ability to have more complex conversations than others, than the majority of relationships. And so I see that even though there's an age gap, if there is, it doesn't cause problems with the communication and the enjoyment of one another. Maybe one person wants to go be active more often, but you're of the same mind. Okay? So that's where you're benefiting in this. So no need to clarify these cards. We know there's an age gap. We know there's not much of a challenge because you get along well mentally and as friends. And that's where a relationship needs to be. You got to be friends with your partner. I mean, you need to be more than friends also, but if you're not friendly and friendship wise, it's not going to be as easy for it to work out. So, did we expect this to be easy? I don't know, but Spirit's making it easy. What's the lesson you're being presented with in this relationship? We all learn lessons in relationships, so just because things are going good for you doesn't mean there aren't lessons. So, okay, one more card, please. Okay. So there are some things that become disagreements for you. And this is the Five of Wands. So it can be confusing energy. And if you see here with the Five of Wands, the car's all packed with all those suitcases, and someone has another one. Someone has another suitcase there that they want to fit into the car. And it's looking like there's a little disagreement going on about how to fit that in. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean about packing or putting suitcases in cars, but it does have to do about the fact that you have little disagreements and bumps in the road sometimes, and you have a hard time then communicating about it. Here you communicate well when you're talking about things together that you like, when you're able to have little debates together and stuff. But when it comes to things that you're under stress for, like going on vacation or moving or something like that, we're all under a little bit of stress when those things happen. Then you start to have some issues, and it can become really ugly sometimes. So during those times, Spirit is saying it's time to take time out from one another. This is the Hermit card. It's time to just take some space, go off into your own, do your own thinking, take a nap, do some journaling, and come back together, back into your positive talk, your conversations that work out real well, into your playful energy, or your calm nights of reading books together. But the Hermit energy you need to bring down the stressful energy of the bickering. Okay, so the lesson you're learning is how to get over the bickering thing without becoming so stressed out that you actually mentally really hurt one another. You got to take a step away before it gets out of control. And I think that's something you're trying to learn because you have a tendency to get a little over the top angry. Okay? So let's pull a clarifier for that. Okay, Spirit. What else do you have to say about the Five of Wands and the Hermit card? Okay, Spirit, Five of Wands and Hermit card. So you have the Ace of Cups. So what you're learning is how to be fresh and new with your emotions, not to hold on to grudges, not to be so serious with yourself that you hang on to the grudge, but that you have this new cup of new emotions, a new start, a fresh start. Once you have your hermit moment and you can calm down, you both come back fresh and back into your friendly and happy energy. So that's something you're learning, how do I get back to the Ace of Cups after I've been at the Five of Wands and I've needed to take time out? How am I going to come back and be in this Ace of Cups energy? Well, you're going to take your time out here. You're going to take a breather, you're going to relax, and you're going to think about it, and you're going to realize how much you love this person and how well you get along and are of the same mind. And you're going to come back with this fresh energy of love. Okay? So, I'm going to pull a card here from the Oracle deck because Spirit told me to, and it's called the Shadow Oracle deck. So the Shadow Work Oracle deck is about working on what's on the inside of you that is something that needs to be worked on in order to better yourself as a person on the outside. So these are inside personality things or thoughts that need to be worked on in order to become a better person. Okay, so let's see what Spirit has to say. Sometimes Spirit comes out with some really interesting things. So don't be surprised. Just take it for what it is. And if it doesn't resonate, that's okay too. Okay, here we go. Possessive. You're clinging on to someone or something way too tightly. Learn to let go. Love has no ownership. Everyone has free will. Okay, so for some of you who are the younger one in the relationship, you're having a tendency to get a little freaked out when you're in these bickering moments. Okay, you're having a tendency to really freak out, and then you get desperate and clingy and possessive, and please don't be mad with me, please, this, and that just annoys the other person. So take your hermit time. It's really important to take your hermit time away, calm yourself down, do your deep breathing, take a nap, journal, go for a walk, whatever it is you need to do. Okay? Excuse me for just a minute because my cat is dying to get in and creating a big ruckus. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. My cats were, I think they think they're starving, but I think they'll be okay. So, anyway. It's just really important to have this time and not be so possessive. Okay, and I put that card back and I didn't mean to, and I hope it's just right on top. Yes, possessive card, okay? So I'll put that right over there. All right, so the next step is, what lesson is your other person being presented with? What lesson is your other person learning? What lesson is your person learning because of this relationship? One more card, please, Spirit. One more card. What lesson is your person learning in this relationship? Okay. 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so your person isn't very close with their family. And this card right here is all about family and foundation of family, getting together, having, communing together in friendship and love. And your family has decided to take that person in, and that person is learning the lesson of family love. What is it like to have the love of a family around? And that's what your person is learning. So that's a really fantastic lesson. This relationship is pretty amazing, actually, because then there's the 10 of Cups. So this energy is about emotional happiness, joy. There's the completion of the collection of all of the cups, which is emotional energy. And when you have all of the cups of emotional energy, there's peace. And you can see there's this lovely beach house and this families together. And when I look at these two family cards together, both 10s, by the way, which are both completion, I can tell that your person is learning the lesson of really true love and family love. And so your person is into this relationship for, they're not going anywhere, is what I mean. So that's pretty amazing. So what is the future of this relationship? It's looking pretty good. I'd be surprised if it was anything else. So let's see, what's the future of the relationship? I'm happy for you. This is coming out as a good reading. The future of your relationship. What's the outcome? What's the future? What's the future of the relationship? Okay, let's see what Spirit has to say about that. The Three of Swords and the Page of Cups. Well, I'm going to clarify this because the Three of Swords is not the typical meaning of the Three of Swords, but it does mean that somebody's trying to cause a little trouble. So let's see. Spirit, what does the Three of Swords mean? Why is the Three of Swords in this reading? This Page of Cups is the same as this person, as the Page of Pentacles. It's the younger person. So this to me signifies the older person in the relationship. And I don't mean old. They're just their age gap. So there's an age gap here, but I'm going to find out here what the Three of Swords means. The Queen of Wands in the reverse. And I'm going to pull one more. The Moon. So something is hidden from you. Or actually, something is hidden from the older person. I don't know who is who. I think you're the younger person, but I can't be specific on that, really. Let's move these up a little. So the Queen of Wands in the upright signifies loyalty. So I'm a little surprised we're having the Three of Swords. Three of Swords a lot of times can be the cheater card. There's a third party involved. There's maybe a person they're seeing on the side. And the Queen of Wands is a loyalty card, but because it's in reverse, this may be that there's somebody else involved in this relationship. And with the Moon card and the younger person, which I do think is you, there's something hidden. The moon, the sun, the moon is covering up part of the sun, so there's something hidden that is unseen to you. And so this doesn't mean you're not staying together. That just means in the future there is a warning and advice from Spirit that wandering eyes is something to look out for. And I'm going to pull you a Lover's Oracle card and see what that has to say. I'm sorry, I'm just reading them how they come to me, and it's been a great reading. So, but this is in the future of your relationship, not right now. So I do have the Three of Swords that I didn't think was the typical meaning, but it does seem with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. The loyalty is been strained, and this could be a third party, meaning another lover type relationship person, or it could be a third party, maybe from the older person's family member that intrudes and gets in the way of everything. Because remember, that person doesn't have a really good relationship with their own family, and they're learning how family love really works. And the younger person, there's something hidden, so maybe they don't know what's going on. Obviously, they don't know what's going on. So let's pull a card from the Lover's Oracle deck and just get a final closing statement from Spirit and see what Spirit has to say. Okay, so while I'm shuffling these cards, I'd like to ask you to please like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And also, if you can leave a sentence or 2 sentences in my comments for some feedback for me, I would love to hear how I'm doing, how you feel about my readings. And that will help me improve as a tarot reader and let me just work on improving myself. Okay, so let's see. Oh, that was a lot of cards, but let's see if we can get... There's this card, and I think there was this card. So there's two cards that came out for you. So let's see. First of all, here's the first one. Beautiful artwork. Time. You are trying too hard. Give it time. Okay, so that makes sense, right? Give it some time. Don't try too hard. Give it time. Let me move this out of the way. And then there's this one. Beautiful card with the heart in the middle. Hands reaching up to it, I see. Secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they're letting on. So, I mean, I don't think that has to do with the Three of Swords. This is, maybe your person really feels stronger about you than they really let you know. Maybe they're kind of conservative with their feelings. So, something to think about. Or maybe it's somebody else completely. Only you know that. Okay? So, this was a little confusing at the end here, but I kind of understand that this is the future, which means it doesn't have to happen. It just is something that could happen and to be aware of and pay attention. Okay? Thank you for being here. I'll be back online pretty soon, probably tomorrow or the next day, and I'll see you then. Love and light.